Hi everyone, this is Qatar with another new episode of Geekdom. This is our coverage, and we've got one of my good friends here, Deeb.
It's myself, Hatem, Rabah, and Islam. All four of us form Project Infinite, which is the company that owns and operates the Showdown platform. My position is CTO, and I oversee all technical aspects of the company. Hatem is the CCO, and he oversees all inwards and outwards communication, whether it's business to business or business to consumer. Islam is responsible for all things operation, and Rabah is our CEO.
It's actually nice to know that you have a great team here. Now, your team, Showdown, as I see, they're currently organizing the tournaments here in Geekdom.
The games that we've organized this year are in cooperation with all the gaming communities. These gaming communities are pretty much the backbone of all the tournaments that run in Geekdom, and they remain unchanged. So even though a new player has entered the Geekdom tournament field, the true backbone of the tournaments themselves remain unchanged. So those are Qatar FGC, SSBQ, which is Super Smash Bros. Qatar, the Kanpeki team, and then also the FIFA community. So the tournaments we're running this year, I'll start from the Kanpeki team. So they're Overwatch, Valorant, and League of Legends 2v2. For Qatar FGC, they are Guilty Gear, Tekken, Street Fighter 5, and King of Fighters. For Super Smash Bros., there are two tournaments for the same game, which is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They have a singles and doubles tournament. And then finally, you have FIFA.
Now, the way I see it, Showdown also lets you keep your progress, so that way it's considered like an esports community, and you're able to get some sort of like a professional record, since we know for sure now that esports has joined the Olympics. A player from Qatar has a hub, official hub, that supports him and keeps record of him in case he wants to ever go on a global level and go outside of Qatar.
A lot of people here tend to join esports tournaments without any real long-term goal, whether it is as an individual player who is participating in tournaments or as organizations looking to run tournaments. There are definitely people in the Middle East that are looking to start and develop esports careers, either as esports athletes or managers or tournament organizers and so on. This is what we try to do with Showdown. So one thing that we saw was missing, especially in the Middle Eastern Showdown, is a platform that tracks your tournament progress and displays it for people to understand how well you do in tournaments. So we have a leaderboard, and the leaderboard consists of your tournament wins and your ranking within that tournament, whether you've achieved in the top 3 rank or the top 8 or the top 16 rank, and also the number of wins you have versus the number of matches you played, which we call the win rate. It takes all these metrics and presents them to you in a nice, meaningful way, so that when someone is good, he can just say, hey, check out my Showdown profile. Once upon a time, the Qatar Esports Federation reached out to us back when they were very, very, very early in their life cycle, and they called us and they're like, we would like to send a Qatari player to China. China is hosting some kind of official government subsidized esports event for Street Fighter. We need to know who the best Qatari Street Fighter player is in Qatar. And we're like, well, I can kind of tell you who's the best, but this is through word of mouth. We decided to tell them, let's do a tournament, and whoever qualifies will send off. And they're like, no, we need to know now. This information being readily available through Showdown could be of an asset, not just to the players, not just to organizations, also to governmental entities that are looking to promote esports in Qatar and in the region. Our aim as a platform is to be used by everyone, to be used by the communities, to be used by the players, to be used by the sponsors. We've run a few tournaments. We've run the Red Bull back-to-back tournament, Ahmed Al-Mughassib's back-to-back tournament. We've also run our own tournament called the EC Open in coordination with Qatar Foundation, and we have stuff happening down the line. We've also run a Valorant tournament in Egypt. We ran it remotely with an Egyptian community, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point of Showdown. We reach out to the communities and we enable and empower them to achieve what they want to achieve.
You're streaming, correct?
We are on Twitch, and we do have social media, but right now we're just 4 guys. We're a company that's barely 6 months old, and the biggest problem that we have right now is that we're barely keeping up with demand. Everybody wants a piece of Showdown, which is a fantastic problem to have, if you ask me. We are looking to expand our workforce, and we're definitely looking to recruit more people. So this is something that's part of our strategy long term, 100%.
Will you guys ever add games that were not intended to be esports as your own personal esport game? Like you can make a local tournament or collaborate with other players around the, let's say, the MENA region?
Generally speaking, Showdown tries to identify trends with games, whether they're newly released games or games that are not intended to be an esports title but somehow way end up being an esports title. You really don't know where these opportunities can arise. So, for example, when we did the EC Open, we found out that there's a developer called Bonicle, and the Bonicle creates an accessibility tool for the blind to be able to use devices like iPads and computers and so on. So, during the EC Open, we actually did a mini tournament using the Bonicle where we had the visually impaired participate in a Subway Surfer style kind of game, and we kind of did a mini tournament for that. For us, we always follow the whims of the community, and we try to ride the wave best we can. We're not trendsetters, but we want to enable the trendsetters to achieve what they want. For example, there was a brief time when Multiverses came out. That's a game that QSF wanted to run. Qatar Esports Federation came up to us and they're like, they want to do a tournament with Multiverses and FIFA. If the community and stakeholders, our customers, see that there's a need to have an esports title be present in Showdown, of course it's our job to deliver. That's the whole point, right? And if we identify that there's a need for something to run on our platform, then we will run it. And now already we're looking to expand into Oman, Bahrain, UAE, Saudi, but it seems that Saudi Arabia and the remaining GCC countries are ahead of Qatar. You know, they have way more developed esports communities, and they have a lot of support from their governments. That doesn't say that Qatar isn't supporting, but rather that they've been doing it a bit longer than we have. So through platforms like Showdown, and of course, we've done tournaments with QSF before. QSF has shown major support for Showdown and its initiatives and was looking to adopt similar ideologies and strategies that we are.
I may have an esports game for you to actually consider for the future. It's called Die by the Blade. It's like a spiritual successor of Bushido Blade with some Soul Calibur characteristics in it. So it's going to come out next year. This was a great embryo, by the way, and thank you for introducing us to Showdown and explaining that so much of its aspects, especially for, I think it will have great potential, and I hope you guys, I wish you guys the great success. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap things up?
Definitely check out showdown.me, please. We're on Instagram. We're starting out on Twitter, so hang in there. If you're on our Twitter, you're going to start seeing content soon. Please come register to showdown.me. We're going to definitely announce tournaments soon. Watch out, because we are announcing tournaments at around Sports Day. We have some things lined up. Inshallah, we're going to announce them soon. And I want to give a shout out to all the communities, especially this year's Geekdom. I want to give a shout out, a personal big shout out to the Geekdom team, Abdullah Msallam, Shuruq, Ahmed Sharif, Asma, Ala, the entire team. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Fantastic, beautiful people to work with. And a big thank you to the community, Super Smash Brothers Qatar, Qatar FGC, Ken Pecky team. These guys are super fantastic. They're the same communities that have been around for many, many years, and they will not go away. Grassroots is the way to go. Don't listen to these big companies that act like they know esports. Grassroots communities are and always have been the root of esports.
Make sure to register showdown.me, and make sure to, if you're an esports participant, either an athlete or you plan to be a manager, check out these guys. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, showdown.me. This was Single QTR, and I've had Deeb here as a wonderful guest. Thank you so much for coming to my interview, bro, and I wish you all the success. This was Qatartainment, Single QTR, signing off from Geekdom 2022 at Lucia Boulevard. Ciao!